All right. Good morning, everyone. My name is Max Letterly, and I am Program Administrator for Taxpayer Services here at the Department of Revenue. Today, I'm going to provide you with a kind of a variety package, if you will, of overviews and updates for the department. I'm going to provide you with some information on recent changes to the Illinois Earned Income Tax Credit. I'm going to provide you a little bit of a walkthrough on how to respond to correspondence through our system, MyTax Illinois. I'm going to provide you with a brief update on our power of attorney submissions, as well as a quick overview of the language assistance options that are available here at the Department of Revenue. All right, so the Illinois Earned Income Tax Credit was amended and changed through Public Act 102-700 to expand the credit, the rate of credit effective January 1, 2023. Changes from 18% to 20% of the federal amount. There's also new Illinois qualifiers starting that same January 1st of 2023. So if you are ages 18 to 24 or 65 and older and have no qualifying children, you now qualify for the Illinois Earned Income Tax Credit. In addition, if you file a return with an I-10, you qualify as well. The Schedule ILE EIC has been updated for this tax year to include that expanded worksheet. And on that worksheet, it's going to allow those who don't qualify federally to calculate the amount of federal as if they had qualified, and then we base our Illinois credit off of that. So that is a change that's coming for this upcoming filing season. The electronic response options, a couple years ago, we changed MyTax Illinois to allow for taxpayers and their representatives to respond to the correspondence that was issued by the Department of Revenue using MyTax Illinois. So you can respond now in electronic format. That change at the time was specific to individual income tax and was limited to just notices that had been sent out on individual income tax accounts. This last June, we actually changed the system to expand that further, broadening it to allow for responses for business income tax as well as withholding. And Kevin Richards, that's going to follow me, has some statistics on this, but it's been very, very successful for the department. So I'm going to encourage you all to use this and kind of walk you through how simple it is. So the option to respond to a notice through MyTax Illinois, it's found in the letters and messages panel within an account in MyTax Illinois. And after you select the View More Account options, that becomes available in the panel. So you simply click on the Respond to a Notice option, and it'll take you to the next screen, which allows you to pick a notice to respond to. So once you've clicked on that notice option, you're going to be taken to this listing of notices that's been sent. This is just an example, but you'll be taken to a listing of notices that were sent for that specific account that are able to be responded to electronically. If you want to view the notice that was actually issued by the department, you simply click on the View option next to that specific letter. If you want to respond to the notice, you click the Response option for that letter. Pretty basic. Once you've clicked Respond, you're going to open a new response window up, and it will allow you to add a message as well as any attachments that you want to submit to the department. In the message body, you're going to provide an explanation of your response. Then you simply click Add to add the attachments. To add your attachment, you're going to need to select a file from your computer. You're going to enter a description for the file, and then you're going to choose File to choose the appropriate file from your computer to attach to your response. Once you've added a description for your file, you're going to click OK, and that's going to attach that file back to the original request. It's also going to take you back to that original request, and you can make any adjustments at that time. You can see that your attachment's there. If you want to view it just to make sure it's right, or you attach the right version or whatever you need to do, you can do that as well. And once you're satisfied, you simply click Submit to submit that response back to the department. Like I said, pretty basic. So one of the benefits of using this electronic response option is that you can come back afterward and see exactly what you submitted to the department as well as when. To do that, you're going to need to access the Messages outbox and then click on the View Account Messages option under the Letters and Messages panel within that account. Once you've selected the Outbox tab, you're going to view the submitted messages to the Department of Revenue. Notice that you can see the submission date right there of the message that you submitted to us. And you can also then click on that subject, and it'll take you directly from that request into the request that you submitted. Once you've done that, if you wanted to look at the file that you submitted, or if you want to review the information there that you actually submitted as your message content, that's all right there available for you. So as I've said throughout this is super basic, and it's a great way for you to respond to the department. Kevin has statistics on how much this is being used, but what I can tell you is I think we're over 20 to 25% now of the business income tax and withholding responses are coming in electronically. That's cutting way down on any of those processing times that we have, just right off the bat. Without any expediting and processing within the Department of Revenue, you're cutting out all of the mail delays, all of the data entry, all of the time that it takes to attach these to the accounts in the system. It's going to make responses much faster to be worked within the department. And as I've shown, if you have a question about what was submitted or did we get it, you can come right out and see exactly what was submitted and when. In terms of power of attorney, what I really wanted to plug today is that we are now accepting the new Multi-State Tax Commission, their multi-state power of attorney form. So if you have that form and want to submit that in lieu of the IL 2848, you can now do that. You can do that either through our website, My Tax Illinois, submit those electronically just like you submit the IL 2848s electronically. If you want to email or fax or mail those to us, we'll take them that way as well. Additional email or additional information on that form can be found on MTC's website at mtc.gov. We also have some information as well as a link to the MTC's website on our site at tax.illinois.gov. And here's some contact information for Taxpayer Services that I don't know if this is directly in the handouts that you were provided, but I like to share this. These are some of the specific email addresses if you have questions on a certain account type. This will get you directly to the right person to work those responses. And then, of course, our Taxpayer Assistance Division main 800 number, as well as the local number and our business hotline if you want to get direct access through that hotline. Yes? Is it in the handouts? Okay, good, good. And these are all on our website as well. If on our website, if you're looking at I think it's Contact Us, there is information on there as well about more contact options. And this whole listing, as well as additional email addresses, are available on our site too. So what I wanted to also add onto this slide is I wanted to take a moment to kind of brag on my team a little bit. So we answer a tremendous volume of calls and emails throughout each year. This last calendar year, we took, just in Taxpayer Services, so in our Taxpayer Assistance Division and Central Registration Division, nearly 120,000 emails that we responded to, as well as 1.2 million phone calls. Those emails we strive to respond to within 1 day. Yes? Yeah, absolutely. So the 800 number for our main taxpayer assistance line is 1-800-732-8866. And our business hotline, which I would encourage all of you in the room to use, is 217-524-4772. You're welcome. So one of the things that we've really tried to do is improve the quality of the services that we're handling or that we're providing to you all and to your clients. As I said, we're handling a tremendous volume of emails. We're handling a tremendous volume of calls on a daily, weekly, monthly, annual basis. And we've seen great improvements in the service quality and service levels that we're providing. And we've done that through employee retention. We expanded to add for our team the ability to work remotely, which if you've ever worked in a call center, that can be a very redundant job. People historically have been hitting the burnout limit in our call center very quickly and have transitioned to account processing and other areas of the department. By adding remote work, not only can we monitor and track exactly what our employees are doing all the time with our phone system, but it also gives them an incentive to stay within our call centers, right? Because we offer that remote work option. So we've seen employee retention grow, which means we're having more tenured, better trained employees answering the phones. They're able to handle calls and more complicated questions in a more fast manner. We've also reduced the wrap time that we allowed our agents to have after each call. What we had found historically, most of our agents were actually commenting and documenting the calls that they were taking while they were on the phone with somebody, and then they were still being afforded up to 3 minutes before they had to jump onto the next call. We cut that down to 2 minutes, and that's provided additional bandwidth without us having to add any additional staff. But we have also added additional staff. I think our head count with this next hire that we're going to do here in February is going to be bringing us up to fully staffed in our call center, and it's going to be the first time since I've been there in 2019 that we'll be at that level. So we've made really great strides, but we're also taking additional steps to ensure that we continue to stay at these high levels of service. So those levels of service, in August of 19 as an example, August of 21 as an example, our average queue time was 19 minutes during the month. So if you called, on average, you were going to wait 19 minutes to talk to one of our agents. And we also had over 15,000, nearly 16,000 taxpayers get tired of waiting on hold and hang up the phone. So those taxpayer abandons were pretty high. In August of 23, as a very drastic comparison, that average queue time dropped to 1.7 minutes. And we only had 1,900 taxpayer abandons. So the queue times have gone down dramatically because of the changes that we've made. And we're also reducing down that number of abandoned calls. Obviously, we don't want any abandoned calls, so we're going to continue to make efforts to improve that. But I wanted to share all of that with you and let you know that we are making efforts to improve the service that we're providing to you. As a general reminder, if you are contacting Taxpayer Services, if you have a question about a return or notice, make sure you have that ready and handy on hand. We're going to need information from that when we verify your security. And then lastly, I wanted to provide a little bit of information on the language assistance options that we provide now at the Department of Revenue. So if you now come to one of our walk-in facilities, we have either in-house staff who provide interpreter services. We do have a number of multilingual staff on hand. Generally, those are Spanish-speaking positions, though we do have some staff that handle other languages. And we've made recent changes throughout this past year to expand how we handle walk-in services for those customers who come in and we don't have somebody on hand who can help. What we've actually done, we invoke an interpreter service already on our phone system, and that's on there too. But we utilize that same phone service now, and we've actually added an ability at each one of our walk-in facilities that if we need to invoke that interpreter service, we can handle three-way calls between our agent at the office and the interpreter and the taxpayer sitting right there, so that we can continue to provide those services without turning somebody away and making them call us from somewhere else. We can also sit there and work with them directly on the forms or questions that they have. Our website now offers Google Translate, which allows for the website itself to be translated into 130 plus languages. And then we also are allowing for the translation of specific notices and documents and other written correspondence upon request. And there's information on our website to do that.